Hello and welcome. It's Leanna, and I'm very excited to help you launch your very first Facebook ads campaign. In this module, we're going to be creating your foundation. And this is something that you're going to come back to over and over and over again. I still start here after many years whenever I am starting to work with a brand new sales funnel or even a brand new ad account. So let's dive in. First of all, let me share with you a few little facts about myself. I was a lawyer, a litigation and corporate lawyer for about 8 years, and I have been doing digital marketing for over 10 years now. You may have seen me around the web in an ad skills coaching, or maybe John Benson's training, or possibly doing the omni-channel presentation in ad world. My sweet spot is lead generation, which is where I started out with, and info products, but I've also done e-commerce campaigns as well. And in fact, our $6 million case study is actually built around e-commerce. So enough about me. Let's keep going, shall we? Let's start building your foundation. There are 6 areas that I want to take you through, and what I would recommend is you go through each section one at a time, finish that up, and then go to the next one. They're designed to build upon one another. And this is probably the longest part of the different sections to get your campaign launched. One of the reasons for this is that with all the privacy rules and changes, Facebook has really made it much more complicated for people to get started with Facebook ads. But these steps are really important so that they set you up for success, especially for your tracking and reporting. So let's dive in. The first section here is the funnel pages needed for your campaign. Do keep in mind that as we go through this, our main goal is to get your first campaign launched and approved. You are going to see a lot of different features inside of your Facebook Ads Manager and other advanced techniques. You may have heard of them. I'm focused right now on just helping you get launched and approved. Once you've launched your very first campaign, then you can start branching out into advanced techniques and exploring some of the other features inside of the Facebook Ads Manager. But I believe in keeping things very simple, so I'm going to give you the information that I know you need for your very first campaign. And then once you feel comfortable with that and you've launched it and you have several different ads and you've started to optimize it, then you can graduate more into the advanced approach. So we always want to take a look at the landing pages inside of the funnel. So what do I mean by that? Well, here is what we want to get at a minimum. We want to get the landing page. This is the page people will see after they click on your ad. So maybe it's your sign up page. Maybe it's even a sales page. Maybe it's a webinar registration page. Whatever that page is, we need to have that one, the one that you're going to use for your Facebook ads. And then the thank you page. So that's the page that people see after they do whatever it is that you're asking them to in the lander. Maybe it's enter their email address. Maybe it's to make a purchase. So you want to see the page that comes right after that. And that should be a unique page, meaning people can't get to the page. The only way people can get to that page is by completing the action on the lander. And the reason for this is we're going to use this page to tell Facebook, hey, this is what it looks like when somebody enters their email, or this is what it looks like when somebody buys my book or my product. It's also important to know the deeper funnel pages as well, but the first 2 here are crucial. Now, here are a couple of examples of pages that you might be looking for. So as I mentioned, opt-in and registration pages, the thank you page following that. Maybe it's a funnel where you're asking people to book a call, in which case you want to make sure you have a unique confirmation page that they visit after the call has been booked. Could be the sales page, the order form, which could also act as like an add to cart or maybe an initiate checkout type of conversion event, and then the purchase confirmation page as well that they see after they purchase the product or service. Next, you want to take a look at the pages, especially the page that you're going to be using in your ad campaign. And you want to take a look at it for compliance. And by the way, I cover compliance when we get to the ad creation side because that is a big topic. but you need to look at the page from a compliance perspective, including any pages that link out from it as well. As we get deeper in the funnel, it's not as important that the pages be compliant, but the first two pages that people see, meaning the lander and then the thank you page, they should be compliant. Also, for every page, we want to make sure that the Facebook pixel is firing correctly, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And we also want to make sure that the conversion event is set up as well. So what I like to do is I like to take the lander and go through the compliance. Like I said, I'm going to take you through compliance once you get to the ad creation level, just because it's easier to cover all the compliance issues together in one place. Then next, I need to test and make sure that the Facebook pixel has actually been installed and is firing. So let me show you a really quick way to do that. If you go to Google and just Google Facebook Ads Pixel Helper, you'll find a free extension in the Chrome store. And so you just want to install it in your browser. And I already have it installed on my browser here. So let me give you an example of how it works. I'm just going to pick a homepage. Let me just go to adskills.com because I know they have a pixel on there for sure. So you can just go to the lander that you're going to be using, and then up at the very top where all your extensions are, you can see here it already has 14, which means there's a lot of pixels on this page. So I'm just going to click on it, and you can see they have a number of different pixels, which is I think unusual. You would just have one pixel. But what I wanted to show you here was it's got the pixel. It actually has the pixel ID. So you do want to make sure that, first of all, you want to make sure that something is firing. Sometimes I go to landers and this is just grayed out and there are no pixels. So you want to make sure that the pixel is firing. You also want to make sure that the ID is correct. I have had landing pages and taken a look at them. I think it looks fine. Then once I get into the back end and I find out what the correct pixel ID is for the ad account we're going to be using, I found out it's wrong. So you also want to make sure that the ID is correct. And you also want to make sure that this is green. Sometimes it's yellow and sometimes it's red. If it is any color other than green, you want to click on it. You want to take a look and see if it gives you any information, and you might have to get a developer involved or whoever handles your technology to help you figure out why it's not green. So you want to go ahead only once it's green, because if it's not green, then Facebook is not receiving data from your website. The only way that Facebook can know what's happening with your website is through this piece of code called the Facebook Pixel. It actually allows your website basically to communicate directly with Facebook and tell it, hey, here's where we are, and it can give Facebook information like, here's the types of visitors that are coming here, here's how long they spend on the page, and Facebook can track and see, hey, this is what people are doing. Are they clicking? How much are they scrolling? How much time are they spending on the page? And Facebook will use all this information to help you optimize your Facebook ads campaign. So that's why this is very important. And I'm going to walk you through as well how to install the Facebook Pixel if it hasn't been installed yet. Now, if there is a conversion event, it will also show up here. You might see lead or purchase or initiate checkout. So again, I'll show you that once we get to the point where we're actually setting it up, but you would actually see it here. So I always check on this. And bonus tip, as best practices, put in your to-do list to check this once a month. Or, look, once a quarter, but really try and do it at least once a month. Just have somebody go in here. It's just like checking to make sure your shopping cart is working, to making sure that nothing's broken on your website. You do want to check and just make sure that the Facebook Pixel is working. You probably would get some type of warning inside of Facebook if something wasn't working, but just in case it doesn't, or just in case something funny happens, then you do just want to come up here, just quickly click on the Facebook Pixel Helper and make sure that the pixel is firing correctly. So once you've confirmed that, and I would confirm that at the very minimum on the lander you're going to be using for your ads and the thank you page right after that. If you have the rest of the pages ready, you also want to double check that as well. But at the very minimum, you want to check those ones. Like I said, best practices, you want to check everything else to make sure that the pixel is on every single page. Then, and also that the conversion events are firing, like for the purchase or the book a call or whatever else that you have set up. That way you'll know that Facebook can get the most information possible so that it can help to optimize your ads, again, to the best of its ability. So that shouldn't take you that long once you get the hang of it. But do make sure that this is not a step that you're going to